Apologize, guys. Yeah, I forgot to unmute because I got so flubbergasted over the fact I couldn't get the Zoom didn't have audio. I couldn't hear John, so it was kind of a little bit of a pain. I'm just waiting for him to get back here as soon as he can. Um, Same password, John, if you're watching, but it's working. And yeah, I don't know what happened. I think I started my headset at the same time I started Zoom, and I think it caused it to have some kind of glitch. But that said, how is everybody tonight? I see Jangles in chat has talking about he's having some depression issues in this past week. That that's one of the things that tonight's about is feel good movies and stuff that'll help you bring you out of that. Or and it's not feel good movies what feels good to you. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be something that you know feels good to everyone. It's kind of sometimes even I mean, like Lando. I know Lando watches a lot of horror films. That to him that's a feel good movie. Um, I was running a little late tonight to begin with, and then I had this issue because I was watching the movie for tonight's recording because we're recording tonight for the What No Horror podcast. So, invalid invite. Okay, I will fix that, John. All right. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to get my co-host in here. Yeah. Dangle clacks, you see? They're a real thing. I think they're like little mini gremlins that live in your computer. Doesn't help that I just redid the computer. It's my first stream since putting in a bigger hard drive. And I spent, literally, Lady Liberty can tell you, I spent 10 hours working on computers yesterday. So, between her laptop and mine, because I put my old hard drive in hers. Should work. Oh, it should be a capital. Alright, hopefully we can get him in here with that. If not, I'll try a different one. Nope, there he is. Here we go. Now I feel more complete. Need my co-host here. I missed him. Missed you, John. Can I hear you now, I hope?
What happened?
There we go. I can hear you. It's a miracle.
Oh, there.
I can hear you now. It's so much better. I think it was my end. Zoom didn't open right.
I can't hear you.
Now you can't hear me. Can everybody else hear me? That's the next question. I do have you. Can you hear me, hon? Never mind. Hopefully, it sounds working. Now what?
Ah.
So, John, if you can't hear me,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, jeez.
I'm putting in the chat for John. Work. Sorry.
So they can hear us, but we can't hear each other.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you now.
You can hear me, but
Yes,
I can't hear you.
Exactly. And why is this view weird?
The deuces.
There we go. And the view is weird too, which will translate over. Sorry, guys. This is really fun. Yay! See, things can happen. This is why we need good movies like we have. So all I can see is sign language from him. It's funny. All right, so let's have a little fun with this while it's going on. Right now I can say anything I want about Johnny. I'd have to watch a replay to get to work. I had to restart Zoom to get mine, so hopefully he can figure that out. I'll tell him in Discord. Sorry, guys. It's a little bit slower than it should. That said,
Okay.
I'm going to get into a couple of these movies here anyway. Well, this is going on. Can you guys hear John? If you can hear John, that's actually a good thing. So it's just I get to say anything I want, and he can't hear me. So, um, Lady Liberty helped me make this list of movies, and I'm just kind of curious on what you guys think, and put some movies in chat that really make you feel better. Things, I mean, like I know a lot of people, especially if you're into slightly older movies, Princess Bride has always been a go-to. I know I've heard other people say it too, that it's a go-to. Poor John here, I don't know what to do. I'm pretty sure he has to restart Zoom. That's what I had to do. I had to completely close it and then restart it. And then that's one of the ones that I can watch, and sometimes it'll make me feel better. And granted, we watched it a lot. My daughter and I did as she was growing up, so it kind of got older. Yeah, welcome to the Dinkelclax show. Lady Liberty and I made a list, and let me know. And I was hoping to play off John a little bit of this, but now John's dealing with what I was dealing with before the show. But at least I was able to get the intro out there kind of on time. Baby's Day Out was one that she put on a list. That's another one that can kind of feel good. And I've noticed when we make the list, there's a lot of these that are kind of some form of comedy or other. And poor John. 10 Things I Hate About You. It's a good one. We watched that not long ago. Sorry. Trying to help John out. I know how frustrating it is to be on that end because it just had to happen. Before we go too much farther, too, on these, I mean, if Jangles, is there a movie that you like? Because you are already dealing with some depression, you said. Is there a movie that helps? Or it can be music as well, obviously, but sometimes the visual will help draw you in a little bit more, being able to see it. And, sometimes that helps pull you out of the depression and anxiety, or just sometimes you're not even sure what's wrong. You just feel kind of off, and you don't feel like watching a movie, but sometimes when you open it up and you start watching that movie, it'll actually bring you to a point where it brings those feelings forward. So I have a feeling we'll lose John here in just a minute, for a minute. Mr. Right is another one we've been watching lately. If you guys haven't seen that, it's downright kind of hilarious, and at the same time really funny at the same time. But it's a love story. A weird one. A Knight's Tale, there's another one. Best part of the movie, ironically, is the part that makes the most sense. It's so good they kept everything to the time era of being back in the Knights at time. But yet they We Will Rock You in the Stands, which was the best part of the movie, but it really made no sense. Everything else they kept really good for kayfabe. Like, can you hear me now, Jeff? Oh, you can hear me on replay, I'm guessing. Sorry, bud. This is going to be a little bit delayed on John's reactions then. Princess Bride, I already said that. 8 Crazy Nights, that's one of Lady Liberty's. So the delay is not that bad tonight. It is better. I noticed that my delay to get to the video to you with the upgrades did help, and that's what was my point. That's why I bought it. Deadpool's been one. I don't know. I'll wait for John's answer on this since he's apparently listening on it. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I can hear me, and I guess they can hear me, but I can't hear you, so it's very strange.
Yeah, John, that's exactly what was happening to me before the show. All I did was shut Zoom down completely and restart it.
So I came up with a list of my own.
I'll let you go first. That way I don't interrupt you.
So the delay is going to mess me up, but I'm going to fight through it, so...
Before he gets started, I'm going to apologize for one thing quick. I am going to vape tonight. Okay. I need it.
Okay. So I had what you already talked about. Princess Bride, you already talked about. I had The Breakfast Club.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. Um, Goodwill Hunting. A Knight's Tale. You already talked about. A highly underrated, I think, in my opinion, The Secret Life of Pets. It didn't get a lot of push, but it's a very funny movie. I'd put in Super Bad in there just for, yeah, yep. Um, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and not that Johnny Depp one, the old one with Gene Wilder. The Big Lebowski, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Cool Hand Luke,
That sounds familiar.
and Gran Torino. All good movies, in my
Gran, Tori-
opinion,
Gran Torino is a feel-good
for
movie.
lifting you out of that funk.
That can go either way with that one, kind of. But yeah, man, you just made There's some good ones in that list. A couple we didn't put on, but then again, I didn't want to fill up more than 2 pages of because I'd like to hear from chat on what you guys have because it really matters what you have. But the nice thing about these and bringing these in, Deadpool is on the list. That's the next one on the list. The nice thing about this is maybe somebody in the chat or us can make a suggestion. It might pull someone into, oh yeah, I haven't seen that, and even if you're feeling kind of bad, watch it. It might help. It's a visualization that can really help you in a big way. I feel really bad for John right now because the delay thing can be a factor. Although, like I said, the delay's not nearly as bad as it was before. The latency, I fixed the latency quite a bit. So 51st Dates was one that she put in there. My daughter and her both love that. And here's one, John. This one's here I think you can agree with. Little Nicky.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And Lady and the Tramp. We have not seen we have Disney Plus, but we haven't watched the non-animated version of that yet. But, I mean, it's a very good movie. The original Fox and the Hound can be, but it's kind of got a depressing beginning. You got to watch that. If you're feeling depressed, try to avoid the ones that have that depressing beginning. Like she put Dumbo on the list. Dumbo's a very good movie. But beware if you're feeling really depressed because the beginning is kind of depressing. And there's other movies like that that start off really low and come back up. Runaway Bride, Corpse Bride. Here's one. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? And even if here's one I was hoping to get John to discussion on this one, because even if you're not really a fan of those cartoony / non-anime mixes like that, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I mean, who doesn't love Jessica Rabbit? Come on. Next one in chat if you think Jessica Rabbit was hot back in the day. Just for a little fun. Me, Myself, and Irene. That's freaking hilarious. Fights with himself. If you think you're having a bad day, watch that movie. You won't feel so bad anymore. Yeah, here he goes. John's like, listening on replay and laughing. It's like watching reactions. It's awesome. Other than the fact that I wish he was able to just have a regular one. That's okay. We'll have the Dangle Clacks out tonight while we're just talking about movies, and then we'll have it all set on Saturday. The issue he's having is almost identical to the one I had. I had no sound, when I booted up. Yeah, you heard the Roger Rabbit one, I'm pretty sure. Corpse Bride, Night Before Christmas, Uncle Buck, Ferris Bueller's Day Out. These are just a few suggestions. And I know Addy Tooney has 1 or 2 suggestions, so I'm waiting to see a couple of those because I've heard him go through some different things. The Great Outdoors. I mean, if you don't know what hot dogs are made of, that's a great movie to get you started. And I know John's going to laugh at that because this conversation has come up before. And it has been long enough. I'm starting to be able to watch some of the Robin Williams movies a little bit more, like RV and Patch Adams, Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, honestly, as far as a pick-me-up, he was great for it. If you're starting to feel a little down because you feel bad that he's gone, then maybe switch movies. But it's a good one to start with if you can get over that fact that he's gone. Shaun of the Dead. That's if you feel like watching something and someone beat the living crap out of a bunch of zombies. There he goes. He's got sound.
The Birdcage with Robin Williams, and also Inside Out.
Yep, very good movies. It's gonna be weird because he hear himself on replay, so that's gonna be even stranger. Warm Bodies, because we're starting to talk about the fact that all these are romantic, and she goes, "It's romantic and zombies." So, and we just watched this recently, so Superbad had to go in there because we're McLovin' it. So, Accepted. I had to think about this one. Lady Liberty reminded me of this one. It's the one where they make their own college because they weren't accepted to a real college, regular college. So they created their own college, which they actually became accredited by the end of the movie. So it's a very interesting movie. And as long as you're okay with the actor, because some people love him, some people don't. Most people do, actually. But Ace Ventura, any one of those movies can, I mean, you can't take it seriously, but it can definitely pick you out of a nest. Forrest Gump. There you go, Addie. Another movie that can kind of go south a few times, but in the end, it's just like he's always got this positivity about him. Plugging through life, keeps on going. Run, Forrest, run. Keep going. It's an amazing thing. Angry Birds. Angry Birds was a good movie. Astronauts. Yeah. Okay. Shrek. Yeah, there's a good one. Get out of my swamp. Get away from me, donkey. I'm not good at it. Big G does it much better. Unless you ask him to do it, and then he can't do it, just so you say. I don't know if Big G's here tonight. Yeah, he is. Right there he is. I see him here. I've actually heard him do it before, so I know he can do it when he's in the right frame of mind. Oh, yeah, 1 Hour Photo, and the other one, Jangles, is Insomnia. He plays those two creepy roles very, very well. Too well. It was really a shock to watch him play those roles, considering all the funny roles that he played. And then Robin Williams comes out with these two like creepy horror flicks that downright would just chill you to the bone to believe that he's capable of flipping that much. There was a trick to that. He'd go off his meds because he did have some issues himself. So, being here in this show, it's important to know that. He'd go off his meds for comedy roles. But when he had to do the serious roles like 1 Hour Photo and Insomnia, he actually took his meds on and was acting. He was truly acting. But on other parts, he could kind of ad-lib or just bring out that funny side out of him by going off his meds. Because as a bipolar, he'd go into like a manic state, and that would create his funnier side. So sometimes, mental illness can actually be beneficial. And that's what Robin Williams is a case of that. Quarantine Kitchen live on YouTube. Alton Brown. Oh my God, Alton Brown. That guy is a character and a half. If you've ever had a chance to watch him, even when he was on what is it, the competition one, Lady Liberty can fill you in on it with the Iron Chefs. He was always drunk or getting everybody drunk at some point. He kind of pushed the alcohol in that show. It's a little bit, if you have that issue, maybe not watch that. That's kind of a pre-warning. That's one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up.
Cutthroat Kitchen.
And Cutthroat Kitchen, too, yeah. Yep. That was the one where he drank a lot. According, what is it? The Grinch. She put that in there. I'm not sure which one she means. I think she likes them all, but I think her preferred one actually is the one with, okay, I'm going brain dead here for a moment, but same as Ace Ventura. Why can't I think of his name? But that I think that's her preferred one. But the original Grinch is good. Even that remake one wasn't as bad as I expected. Every time they remake a movie,
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. Yeah. Even the remake of the last one, the animated one, wasn't bad, and they didn't keep it the same. That kind of reminds me, too, another one that kind of becomes a feel-good movie is The Lorax, as far as those go. Liar, Liar, we had a couple of them on here. And I had to throw this in there. For anyone who's from this time period or had kids around this time period, Land Before Time, especially the first one. There's that sad part when he loses his mom, but generally speaking, that movie is just... This is a happy movie. And I kind of like the second or third one, the one where they come up with the T-Rex baby. It's just Chomper. That's one of my favorite characters in it. Moana, another one. If you notice, a lot of these are love stories. Then for a Time isn't so much, but these others all are. And then she put Dumbo in there. Like I said, very feel good movie if you get past the initial beginning. But it's not like a lot of Disney likes to go into death first. So be careful when you're choosing that. If you're feeling really down, you just don't want to crash. White Men Can't Jump. Another good one, yes. Scary movie on the water boat. Trying to think. There's a few of them. That's it. If your genre of what feels good to you is scary movies, especially if you want to bring yourself out of a depression, do it. Anything that feels good. Ice Age series is always funny. That's true. I love all that. Sad that we're a bunch of adults here. Most of us. I think all of us. It's supposed to be adult only anyway. It is age restricted, so. And we talking. There's quite a few cartoons come up, not just in my list, but I see it in chat as well, or just slapstick comedy. I know John will agree with this one, but the Holy Monty Python, just anything Monty Python, if you're having a bad day, will bring that laughter out of your soul. If you like that type of comedy, Moana, put in here. Dumbo, Charlotte's Web. I had to put that in there. That's another one that's kind of sad because of what could be happening, but they all band together and help out Charlotte, and it's just, feel good. Coming of Age. Let's see. Cooking Guy Watch. Cowboy Cooking with Kent Rollins. Oh. Anybody remember Jan Can Cook? If Jan Can Cook, so can you. And there's the one who used to always cook with all the alcohol. The Backyard Barbecue or something like that guy or whatever it was. Those are the ones my grandmother used to watch all the time and laugh about. Here, a little bit of drink for the food, a little bit of drink for the cook. And it's like, okay. By the end, he was always lit. So, yeah. But it's funny what can bring you out. And it doesn't have to be movies. It could be a YouTube show. It could be an older series, like we were just discussing. And you can... John's smiling. You can go back to them. A lot of times on YouTube will have them somewhere. Or you can find them online somewhere to stream and rewatch them. Another one that isn't on the list, but can be a feel-good, but at the same time it is kind of racist. So beware of that. But Foghorn Leghorn, he hilarious at points because the racism was so bad, it was so obvious that it was meant to be made a joke of. I'm not sure. Okay.
Trading Places.
Yes.
With Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, that's a good one.
That reminds me of the other one they remade. The one where the rich kid, he's all messed up, and then has to. The new one I know Lady Liberty likes, and the old one I can't. Arthur. That reminds me of that one. Arthur is kind of like that story, or Freaky Friday if you want to go there. Which that reminds me of Friday, even though they're not the same movie. But Friday is hilarious, which reminds me of. Are We There Yet? See, it's funny how they all pull in together. One movie will make you think of another completely different genre or just by name. I mean, it's fun to go that. Brokeback Mountain didn't think. Well, the point is, it was meant to be a breakthrough movie for this record, Brokeback Mountain, but the way they broke through.
National Lampoon's Vacation, European Vacation, they were all good. A little crass, but they're good.
Yeah, National Lampoon's Vacation. There's actually like any of the National Lampoon movies, in my opinion. Lady Liberty's not a big fan of Chevy Chase, but I actually like him. And there's a lot. That reminds me, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Did I already say that? Because that was back in the day. That was the movie you wanted to watch if you wanted to feel good. Lion King. She wanted to particularly point out that 1.5 is one of her favorite feel goods. Is that one scene where Pumbaa's sitting in there with everybody, and then they're sitting in that jacuzzi. He gets out, walks out, and then the bubbles stop, and they both go, "Yep, I'm out," and they take off. So she had to mention that just before the show. We talked about it. And A Bug's Life. That's another one. And then you got Ants. Isn't quite as much of a feel good movie. I mean, it's kind of on the same lines, but I think A Bug's Life has got that little bit of uplifting spirit to it. Jaws. Jaws is a feel good movie unless you're the one getting eaten by the shark. Yeah. Aw. Big G. And a snoring dog in the background for everybody. Yeah, there's a lot of movies that I think that they just went a little bit farther in depth or went a different direction. A movie that's kind of okay could have been so much better. That said, we got some people that like to work on movies, so to speak, or at least short movies and stuff. Like someone in our community here, Legion, has a tendency to do that. I was working on that all the time and always thinking about it. It'd be interesting to see if he can do some kind of comedy like situation. Maybe he can do a short comedy. You never know. It'd be interesting. I'd like to see it. Or Big G could do something with his caricatures. Make them come to life. We could do a storybook theme, Big G, where we'll come up with the commentary. You make a bunch of little frames of this, and we'll put them up as frames, like you're reading a book, and you read a little excerpt, and make it into a story with a few of us. We could actually have a lot of fun with that. And in the end, everybody be scratching their heads going, I enjoyed that. Watership Down. Movie that you would expect, and if you watch the animation at first, you're going to kind of not like it if you haven't seen it before, because it feels a little choppy. But by the time you're 10 minutes into the movie is so good that you forget about the bad animation. You start to feel for the characters. There's a lot of ups and downs and sideways turns in that. Spoiler, the ending might not make you completely happy. I mean, you're okay with it, kind of, but it's not a happy ending. So, it's a circle of life type thing. But, The Nut Job, yes, we just watched that recently, too. So we've been doing a lot of this lately, so I wanted to bring this up because it's important that we kind of keep ourselves on the up and up. And one of the best things you can do is a movie. Because if you're listening to music, it's good. But sometimes that's not quite enough to pull you out of a deep depression. Sometimes you need that little bit of visual aid. And being it's a winter for most of us around here in the U.S., whether or not you live in Florida doesn't matter. It's still colder than normal. You're probably not getting out as much. Mr. Pickles. Yeah, we watched that recently again, too. And we're watching Rick and Morty right now again for the 50th time. So, pick a Rick, bitch. So when John hears that, he's going to be like, what? Blues Brothers, yep. Went to the theater, Nut Job. Oh, you went to the theater for Nut Job. You see, I think it might be an at-home movie, and it might not be quite good enough to bother with going to movies. That said, though, I mean, for anyone who's a fan of it, you have the whole Harry Potter series, you have the Lord of the Rings series, and if you want to get into the prequels of that, you have either the animated or the non-animated versions of The Hobbit. I used to love the animated, but I love the new storyline and the new one because they broke it up and went into so much detail. Yep. On top of that, Game of Thrones, if you're really into that. And if you've watched the whole series, you know enough. Just stop halfway on the last season and you'll be happy the whole way through. The last season, they just didn't pull that off all the way. But there's a lot of great movies. Ringo does the marathon. Oh, that reminds me of Rango. There's another one. Johnny Depp movie. It's funny to watch his reactions. You guys seeing this? He reacts like afterwards, but he starts smiling and laughing even when I'm not talking about anything that's funny. And now he's going to hear that, and he's going to be like, yep. All right. Oh, yeah, I did not hit that. Took my meds tonight. Okay, there you go. So, what's everybody been doing lately to try and keep themselves out of it other than movies? Or does anyone have any plans to go to a movie or concert or be able to go out anytime soon? Well, it depends. First two seasons are good if you. I'm pretty sure Irish would like the first two seasons. Vaping Irish would love the first two seasons. And then the storylines really starts to kick in, like the second season.
Yes, the winter doldrums are coming up shortly. That's not very far away. We need to plug that. It's going to be a great benefit for suicide prevention, suicide education. Michelle Dime is going to be in that. So we need to make sure that everybody comes out and support that. That's going to be a great live music event.
Yeah, it's very true. 100% true. That's February 28th. $5 ticket. It's not closed to, like, it used to be a Philly only event, but because of the pandemic, it opened it up to the world because it's being streamed live. So that's, and I believe the way that ticket works, you're going to be able to rewatch it later in case you can't watch it live at that point. You can rewatch it for like a period of time. But yeah, looking forward to that myself. Even more so after, if you didn't catch it, go into Stan Tenacious TX paid video channel and check out the one where he had Emily Drinker on with Michelle. Great live music.
I don't know where you are in talking about that, but the winter doldrums need to share that link with people that might not even be in the community. Make sure you get that link around because there's a lot of people that would like some live music, some great live performances right now. It'd really bring a lot of people up.
Yep. Yeah, it is. It's not. I mean, and all the proceeds are going to a really good cause. What the whole goal of this channel mostly is to try and prevent that last step, that suicide awareness and prevention at the bottom. Everything we do is to try and keep people from getting to that point. And I know a lot of the people in the chat, even the ones that have issues that they're dealing with, try to reach out and help each other. And that is kind of what the community is all about, trying to bring each other up. Yeah, and if you can't afford it, you can always share it around, and you can donate more than the $5 as well if you have a little extra money and you want to give a little money towards the cause, which is a good cause. Obviously, Michelle has actually dealt with this. I have dealt with this in an indirect, direct way as well. My father committed suicide, so it's near and dear to me as well. That said, it is an important thing, and the music, and like I said, I was looking forward to it, but I was thinking folk music because that's what it's stressed as. And then I heard Emily Drinker and some of her music, and it's like, it's not the folk music you think of, like old-timey folk music. And I'm sure there's going to be some of that, but I can tell you from watching Emily and listening to Emily on Stan's channel, it is not all old-timey folk. It's actually really good music. Kind of almost reminds me of, like, think of Alabama would be an example, or something like that. Almost had that feel or something like that. But there's, other genres, and she switched it up between songs. All of them are going to be different. Like I said, it's a whole event full of a lot of musicians. I believe there's, I wish she was here. I can't remember a musician. John might remember. There's another one, someone pretty big that was in it, but I was paying more attention. I'm just excited about the music, so I wasn't paying attention to who, because I'm just like, yes, music. Haven't had any last year, live music. And yeah, that's very kind of you, Feathers Rucker. And it's it's an awesome thing to do, get together. And plus, who's to say you can't, like, hang out, like, I know this has happened. What if you're in a Zoom call and you guys are sharing the video? It's, as long as you're together and you're watching it live, as long as someone has paid for the access, there's really nothing wrong with that, to be on a live and stream like a Zoom call or something like that, and just listen to music as a group. You guys can talk, hang out, like almost like you're watching a live music concert, or if you're sitting in your home watching a live show. Halftime of the Super Bowl, same idea. Just kind of hanging out. And sorry we got so struck on pushing that, but it is coming up soon. It is important. And it might be something very important for anyone who's feeling down. A lot of those songs are from the heart and have meaning. I know Michelle always plays the song for her son every year, and that is the one that comes from her heart. And it kind of, those are those songs that kind of stick with you in your soul, so to speak. Can kind of bring you up because you realize, life goes on even though it's not the greatest in some aspects. Scars never really completely heal with that kind of situation. You know that too well. But we can move on and keep moving forward and help each other, and that helps. Helping others will help yourself. Yep. Exactly, Feathers Rucker. That's a possible. So that said, yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, Mowgli. More David Bromberg than Bob Dylan. Yeah. But Bob Dylan actually kind of, as far as this goes, is technically was a folk singer. I think of a lot of his songs that fall under that category. And I do feel like I've taken over a lot of the show, so if John ever wants to just turn his light on, I'll know it's time and he wants to talk about something. I'm going to let him because I feel like it's kind of been one-man show because I feel guilty. Because poor John's here on delay, and he hasn't even heard me say this yet, and it's even fun. But, yeah, go ahead and join Jangles. It's a good place to hang out. Good for if you're not feeling a little down. Believe me, we're here for each other as best we can. We do our best to be coverage around the clock. The more people will get in there, the better coverage will be. I'll admit, I've been super busy lately with a lot of life events. John's thinking something. Look at those eyes. He's looking something up. He saw the light. Okay, let's mess with John for a second because he can't hear us until now. Yeah, exactly. Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan, you think about that, it's not like it's old-timey folky, all of it. Most of it's actually pretty good rock and roll. And that's kind of what I got from Emily Drinker, was that kind of feel.
Yes.
And now he doesn't know what to say. Yeah, that's another thing. Even if you're not a part of the vaping community doesn't mind. It's a community full of a lot of caring people. It's actually one of the most caring groups of people I've ever seen in my life.
This has been one of the most crazy streams we've had, and we've had some crazy streams.
I would say the Wolf Bite episode where it wound up being VR vision without knowing what happened. It was another dangle clack on YouTube's end. Mate put us in VR vision. We had to look around unless you were on a TV, it'd cast fine. But if you had your phone, you'd have to move around to see our faces. It was really messed up. That was the worst. But this is up there.
Yeah. The 360 video, yeah.
This is another dangle clack, but I think this one's, I think it's Zoom. Something happened with Zoom and there's some kind of glitch. Because I had the same thing. I restarted Zoom and I could start hearing you again. And that's what took me a while to get started, is because I couldn't hear John. Just like he can't hear me now. But he could hear me then, but I couldn't hear him. Now he can't. It's just fun. And if we can still go on, that's kind of proof that life goes on, and we just work with it. Do it the best you can with it. You know, look at this bright little flashy microphone thing there sitting in front of him. Don't let him upset you if you see John push that little button and start flashing. You know, that's just John's personality. So here we go. Wait until he hears that one. Now we can wait for the reaction. Yeah, he sees that, but he hasn't heard the reaction yet. Now he's gonna hear it. There it goes. Look at it. So we know exactly how long the delay is by testing this. You partake too little and 70's too much. No, yeah, pressure changes. I don't know how everybody is. Stay safe on the roads if you're in areas that are still getting some storms. They're hitting here and there. We've had some pretty good snowstorms up here the last few weeks. I've been removing a lot of snow. That takes a big deal of my time too. Um, Keep together, talk to your families, reach out to people. You know, sorry. One thing we can do too, Jangles, is you know you're dealing with a little bit of depression. If you get into Discord, we can make sure and check on you a little bit and just see how you're doing. Don't take offense if someone's asking how you're doing for a little while. You know, it's just checking on you, make sure you're okay. And if you don't have anything to say, you can just not say anything or just say, I'm good. You know, that's fine. But it's a good way to kind of keep people in check and make sure they're all right. And that's just it. Reach out to those people if you know they're struggling and stuff, because you can save a life. In the middle of being in a severe depression, if you get a phone call or text or message, you know, it kind of brings you out of that funk of nobody will care if I'm gone. Instantly, you know, well, someone will at least care that I'm gone, and it can kind of bring that life back to you a little bit. It might not bring you out of a depression, but it can keep you from going too far when you're on the verge of that. You know, that suicide awareness and prevention begins with reaching out to each other. Same with if you're feeling it. The hardest thing to do is to pick up that phone, start messaging somebody or something like that. That's the hardest thing to do when you're down, but it's the most important thing you can do for yourself. Can't get Discord to cooperate? Well, that actually can be a problem. We've had issues with Discord before. Is it the link? Maybe the link, because a lot of times you'll need a fresh link. Let me see here. I got Discord open. I can get you a fresh link. Because sometimes I know that John has actually had issues with this. I just want to make sure I get edit it so it'll last longer. They're supposed to last forever. It says right here, I just click never expires and no limit on uses. Generate the link, copy the link, and then I go here and watch this. Here's the messed up part. I'll go back into here, put it in here for everybody. And then if you try that link a week from now, it probably won't work. So that's unfortunate that that's how it works, but that is how it works. John figured that out for us because he's like, the links aren't working that I made a while back, and he's put them in. And for some reason, they have some kind of time limit on them. They're not supposed to. Yeah, and it's not user friendly, but once you're in it, it seems to work fine. It's sometimes when you initially join up for Discord, I had glitches too. Some of it's user error. It's getting used to it, not understanding it. New things are not always hard, but it is a good place to kind of be able to instantly talk to someone if you need to. Whereas, you know, if you're limited in other things, if you're on a like a message board or something, excuse me, and you're limited in messages and getting messages back and delays and all that. Whereas if you're really, really down and you need to talk to someone, there's voice channels in there. You can actually ask somebody to put you guys in a private channel if you want to talk to someone specific. Or there's other channels in there, you know, you can ask, hey, can someone talk to me, and go in there. You can put it in the mental health thing or the general, wherever, and just put in there that you'd like to talk to someone. I'll be down in the voice channel. Go down to the voice channel, wait, and if anyone's available, they'll hop in and talk to you. It gives that option, so you're not stuck. And you can even do some video. The video on that is very glitchy. I would not necessarily recommend it unless you have a good system. But I mean, we're still working on eventually getting a paid Zoom for it, but that's down the road. We have no income for the thing. We do this all just because we care about people, so it makes it a little harder. You know, it comes out of pocket. So, but what's happened with Ian? No, yeah. Don't feel ancient. Trust me. John and I both felt that way, I'm sure, when we first got in Discord ourselves. And I used to use Discord for gaming a long time ago. And then I hadn't used it for a long, long time. And so I got in Discord, and it was like learning all over again how it worked. And not knowing exactly how it worked, because when you do gaming, you just use the voice channel and maybe one little chat channel, and now you're done. You get into it like this, and it becomes a huge thing. There is ways to share video. I know that the Stew Crew does that in theirs. They sometimes share videos and have a movie night. Um, I'm not up to par on that, so don't feel ancient because I don't even know how to run that. But there are ways to like share the video and stuff through Discord, which would be an awesome way for people to get together, like to listen to and watch the Doldrums. You know, if they want to hang out together, there's actually a fair chance that you will see before the end of the Doldrums. Michelle will probably wind up doing that in the Stew Crew. And if you do want to join the Stew Crew, you got to first go to their Facebook page, and you have to answer the 3 questions to Mom, and then you can get in. Will have to have watched a little bit of the Vape Stew in order to get in there, but it's another place that's actually really well rounded, full of a lot of people who care, and it's a lot more accepting than you expect. You know, it's a group of a lot of reviewers and such together, and other people of all kinds, but they get along on such a great level. Whereas not something you see in, you know, competition typically tears people apart. John's thinking something. I'm just trying to figure out what. Is everything okay? Turn on your light if it's not. So, all right. Sending that. What?
I could hear rustling around. I forgot I had my noise canceling headphones on. It must have been on your side.
Yeah, the dog is making a little bit of noise, feeling neglected because I'm over here. You know, when the weather changes, Lady Liberty already said, I'm feeling it too, a little bit of the pressure change. I've always kind of got headaches from pressure changes, severe ones. And there's one coming in, and the dogs act up more when that happens. So that they're needy. The funniest part, you'll love this, and I know you're going to laugh when you hear it. The cat keeps, Lady Liberty keeps like her shirt, her jacket shirts and stuff like that, like the sweatshirts, whatever, up on the back of the couch. Well, the cat has now claimed trying to lay on all her clothes every time she walks away. First, to start off, she's laying, whenever she laid down, she had the cat laying somewhere, so she's uncomfortable by her legs and trying to shove her out of the way. Then up on the couch behind her, where she tried getting the cat to stay down, wouldn't do it. And this is after the cat did the same thing to me. Once he picks a spot, he just picks it. And then started climbing up on top of the clothes pile. And that's just been the last like 24 hours. So that'll be his new thing until he gets bored with it. And I kept on telling her, she goes, he's going to do this forever. I go, no, he's not. Give him like a week or two. He'll get bored with it. And then he'll move on to the next spot he wants to annoy us with. Because he likes to sit down and hit you in the head with his tail, or put his foot out and kind of kick you. He's kind of a butt. He's definitely lives up to his name. I named him Richard because he's a dick. So, Misfits Discord link. Yeah, I can do that. It'd be easier even on a laptop. All right, I can do that for you, Addie. Yeah, hold on a second, and I'll grab that. And good point. This is the better to get coverage this way is to get a Discord link to both. Let me see, no limit. Generate a link. There we go. Yeah, sorry about this, guys. It's actually the best way is to give you a fresh one. It'll last the longest. And if you ever can't get it, you know, message one of us on Facebook or one of our Instagram or any of the platforms, actually. Instagram, Twitter, just message one of us and we'll make sure to get you a fresh link to one of the Discords or both. And as far as to or any of the other things we bring up in chat, if you really want to join something that we've talked about, you know, you need to link to the Doldrums. Addie isn't, if you don't, the one to the Doldrums is actually going to be available because Addie already posted it, I believe. But yeah, thank you so much for making me name the cat, John. Really appreciate it. Now we'll wait for him to get that response. The post peeps would steal it, yeah. With the way the world is right now, I mean, you never know what's going to happen. But generally speaking, I get all my mail. That bottle of the special liquid that it's going to be hard to get in a little while. The big bottle came in today, so I'm happy. I'm still in quarantine because I always set my stuff aside for at least like 24 hours because I don't know, I just do. Even though the chances of me already have contracting it during that time because I didn't get tested for it. I just took the 2 weeks quarantine. Going to go in if I was having an issue, but other than that, I didn't think if I did have it, I didn't want to go to the hospital and spread it unless I needed to go because I was that bad. Um, we never really got bad, so chances are we've already been hit with it. Um, Grim just scheduled a blog. Oh, 12% blog. Oh, awesome. This is going to be a good night. So anybody who is in the community that wants, and even if you're not, I do recommend, if it gets ranty on the advocacy side and you're not part of the vape community, okay, maybe it might not be the show for you, but generally speaking, there's at least a portion of the show, if not a lot of the show, that's just fun to watch. You don't have to be a vapor. Grim Green is another person that's got a very big heart, just like Addie, Big G. We got Squidly. You got, I mean, most of the people in that community are in that community because they wanted to live in a healthier lifestyle than they originally were, and they want to help the people that are really involved want to help people and want to bring them forward and make them healthier. Not a healthier choice, so that they don't have to worry about dying from cancer, for instance, or having severe COPD issues. And a lot of times those will reverse. So it's generally, it makes sense. The community is based on the fundamentalism of helping people. So it makes sense that that's a community that works really well with mental health to try and be good to each other. Nothing's perfect, but it is a pretty good place to start. What happened? Yeah, there's the Wilderness Doldrums right there, the suicide awareness. Definitely, if you can, hit it up. Or if you can't buy it right now, but you might be able to beforehand, open the link in your browser and bookmark it. That way there you have it. It's definitely, even if you're not sure, you never know. You might come down to that day and you're just having a bad day and you want some live music. I didn't think I really wanted it. John froze. I didn't think I really wanted it until I watched, like I said, Stan's channel, and he had Michelle on and had Emily Drinker. And when he had them both on, and she played that live music. It's like I didn't realize how much I missed it until I heard it, and that's like, wow, I feel a lot better. That I rode off that high for a few days, like just feeling good from that musical vibe. I know it got Frames Janklin. He actually started talking about playing his guitar again. He hadn't dusted it off in quite a while. And there were a few others thinking the same thing, doing some jam sessions. I mean, if it can bring that out of you, that's a good thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. I still got to record the podcast tonight, and I'm not quite 100% finished with the second movie yet. Most of the way through it, but I mean, I did wind up having to do extra work outside today, so. And I had to wait for FedEx to come in with that package, and it took him a lot longer. And then he got lost. He was running up and down the road. So I ran out the first time with no jacket on, freezing to death, thinking I was going to miss the guy. And then he drove down the road and turned around and went back the other way. I'm like, okay. So I went and got my jacket on. I came back out, and of course he was just about to leave again. So it's like, yeah. It's easily, new drivers to a route really get easily confused. Please understand there are a lot of new drivers out there. I know a lot of my local vape fam actually drives for FedEx now. There's a lot of them that switched over and started driving for FedEx. One in particular started and kind of got invited all of our friends, and now it's like they not only hang out at the shop together and hang out, at the lounge, but now and every week, or we used to do D&D, and then some of them still hang out every week and do gaming. And then on top of that, they also hang out at work and work in the same place. Feels like the world got smaller for them, actually. While that's happening to them, my world exploded, and I got all these people in chat that I consider family. I have people watching chat, people here, the people we talk to on a regular basis. The world got smaller for me, and it got bigger for others. So it's interesting to see that. I mean, if you're here, I have a feeling your world got a little bigger, even if your personal network got smaller at home. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, some of the links. Another one that another person listened to is, I don't have the link for him, but Adam. Adam from Freshest Show. He did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cover. Oh my God, it's so good. It's better than the original in my opinion. It's just more better rock, kinda. I kind of like it. It's got a nice little twist. So that's if you enjoy music, you enjoy things that are a little different. Check these people out. Right now is the time when you want to support these people that are working on their own, putting up their albums like Michelle does hers. It's not really sure about this, but okay. Hi, Nick. No. Yeah, that cover is amazing. I actually like it better than the original. And just a little spoiler alert: one of these days, we have a couple of people that are going to be coming on. One that's local to me that's going to. He plays a few instruments, but he'll probably play a little guitar for us at some point one of these nights. And I also have Adam has said he would come on and play a little for us at some point. So at some point, expect some live music here a little bit because I want the ones that didn't experience that on Stan's channel, especially the people that aren't going to go to a vape channel as much as they're willing to come here. I want them to experience that live music feel that we had because that was John. I know you saw it too, had it too. We talked about it after the show, and it gave us that pumped up feeling. It just feels good. It's also the same as like remember drive-in theaters were like that as a kid because before in intermissions and stuff you used to get to run around the place and go to the concession stand and rush and have fun and play around. And if it's a place of the field out back, a lot of times you go and catch fireflies in intermission, and that or before the show starts. And that's something that is lost right now. So bring back whatever you can to kind of bring back that feeling. And I know Addie should understand this because he's from New York, not very far actually from where I grew up. And yeah, that area there is nice and kind of rural. There's plenty of rural places. There used to be a bunch of drive-in theaters. There is still one, the one I grew up around is still there. It now belongs to a friend of mine. He inherited it from his father-in-law. So, like I said, small world. It's a person I worked with, became good friends with. Called him Wild Bill, was ironic his name was because he's a little nutty, but he wound up running the drive-in. Still does this day, him and his wife. So it's weird how things happen. Like people, how would I happen to know the person about running the drive-in? You never know. How would John have a clover leaf on his hat? The world may never know, unless he tells us. But I kind of know, but I'm not going to give out his secrets. The secret of the Irish. Yeah, Mowgli. Grim Green's vlog. Yep. Yeah, we gotta get going. We don't want to cut into his time. That's starting just real soon. We will talk to you guys soon. Everybody stay safe, stay happy, do the best you can, and if you need us, reach out to us. If you can't get that to work, I do have Advocate for Liberty on Facebook, have an Advocate for Liberty on Twitter and Instagram as well. So if you need to get a hold of me, go get a hold of me one of those ways. If you can't get a hold of me the other way, and even if I don't have a lot of time to help you, I can definitely point you in the direction of someone who can. That doesn't necessarily have to be like a hotline where you're just calling a random person. It could be someone that actually you can get to know. And that said, even though it'll take a delay to get him started, John, take it away.
You can catch me all throughout the interwebs and on most of the vape shows all week long, or on the replay occasionally, but usually in live chat. You can look me up on Instagram at lightbearer, the number 2, and you. Follow me. I'll follow you back. And remember, be excellent to each other. Give each other a little bit of grace, a little bit of space, and a little bit of love. And let's make this world the place that we want to live in.
Reach out to those you haven't heard from or are struggling, as well as be nice to your people, the people out there that are on the front lines, your waitresses, your convenience store workers, the people that are working and putting their lives in danger just to make sure you get your goods. Yeah, maybe they're having a rough day. Maybe things aren't going well for them, or maybe there's a reason why they don't. It's not their fault that something's not in or something's not right all the time. Even if they make a mistake, they're human. Don't try to be nice to them. Be a little extra nice if you can. That said, love you all. Peace, family. If I can find the outro thingy. Okay. Gonna go to the previews here in a second so you guys can get one more look at the doldrums before and write it down if you need to.
So
Before we go.
weird.